What I'm about to tell you happened 3 months ago on Interstate 80, somewhere between Nebraska and Wyoming. I've driven that route probably 100 times in my life, but I've never seen anything like this. And after what I found out later, I'm not sure I want to drive it ever again. My name's Marcus, and I work logistics for a freight company in Denver. I was driving out to meet one of our drivers, Tommy Rodriguez, at a truck stop near Cheyenne. His GPS tracker had been acting up, and dispatch couldn't locate him. I left Denver around 9 p.m. on a Tuesday in October. Interstate 80 at night is different. Miles of darkness broken only by occasional town lights. You feel like you're driving through the edge of the world. I was 2 hours into the drive when I spotted the truck. An old Peterbilt, maybe half a mile ahead, running without a trailer, just the cab. It had old-school sealed beam headlights, that dim, yellowish glow you don't see anymore. The truck was doing maybe 55 in a 75 zone. As I moved to pass, I looked over to give a friendly wave, but the cab was completely dark. No dome light, no dashboard illumination, nothing. And I couldn't see anyone behind the wheel. An 18-wheeler cruising down the interstate at 55 miles per hour with no one driving it. I called Tommy on hands-free. He picked up immediately. "Marcus? Thank God you called. There's this old Peterbilt that's been following me for the past hour. No trailer, running dark. Every time I slow down, it slows down." My blood ran cold. "Tommy, where are you right now?" "Mile marker 315, eastbound." I checked my GPS. I was at mile marker 287 westbound. We were 30 miles apart, driving toward each other, and we were both being followed by the same impossible truck. I took the next exit into a tiny town called Lodgepole. As I turned onto the off-ramp, I looked back and saw the phantom truck do something that made my blood run cold. It didn't take the exit. It didn't continue on the highway either. It just stopped. Right there on the shoulder of I-80, hazard lights blinking like it was waiting for something. I pulled into a closed diner's parking lot and called Tommy back. He was breathing hard. "Marcus, it's gone. The truck just vanished. I'm at the truck stop now, but there's no sign of it anywhere. But here's what still gives me nightmares. As I was getting ready to leave, I checked the CB radio. What I heard made me almost throw up. A voice crackling through heavy static. "Eastbound truck, mile marker 315. Westbound truck, mile marker 287. I see you both. I'm coming for you." The voice was wrong. It sounded like it was coming from underwater, distorted and hollow. And it knew exactly where we'd been. I drove straight to the truck stop. Tommy was waiting, and I could tell by his face that he'd heard the radio transmission too. We spent the next hour calling other drivers. What we found out was terrifying. A driver named Bill Henderson had seen the same truck 3 weeks earlier, same stretch of highway. Another driver, Sarah Chen, encountered it last month. She got close enough to see the license plate, but when she looked it up later, the number didn't exist in any database. Every single driver described the same thing. The phantom Peterbilt always appeared between mile markers 287 and 315 on I-80, always at night, always running bobtail. That's exactly where Highway Patrol found the wreckage of an old Peterbilt in 1981. The driver, Robert Big Bob Kaufman, had been running a late-night haul when he suffered a heart attack behind the wheel. The truck went off the highway and rolled down an embankment. I looked up the accident report when I got home. The truck was a dark blue 1979 Peterbilt, running bobtail after dropping a load in Cheyenne. The accident happened at mile marker 301, right in the middle of where everyone's been seeing the phantom truck. But here's the detail that keeps me up at night. According to the report, Big Bob had been gone for at least 2 hours before the truck finally crashed. Which means for 2 hours, that 18-wheeler had been driving itself down Interstate 80. I've driven that route twice since then, both times during the day. But every time I pass mile marker 301, I can't help but wonder, is Big Bob still out there? Still trying to complete that final run? If you're ever driving I-80 through Wyoming late at night, and you see an old Peterbilt with dim yellow headlights in your rearview mirror, maybe take the next exit. Some deliveries are meant to stay unfinished. If you have your own unexplained encounter from America's highways, send it to me. Until next time, stay vigilant out there. This is Uncanny States.